Alright, so I'm back at the park again, and this is kind of how my setup is now. As you can see, motorcycle jacket, wrist protectors like I had before, but now I'm adding my motorcycle helmet. I'm using the older one that I have because it actually has the mount for the action camera. Hopefully you're hearing me clearly. It's still very windy in this area. But what I plan on doing today is leaving the park and trying to hit one of the closest parking lots for the Middletown Reservoir trails. Round trip, it should be about 6 to 7 miles. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna go there first, and yeah. So as you can see, this is the helmet setup with the Osmo Action. And a couple of things I want to talk about before I actually ride, because you won't be able to hear me once I start riding. And let me put this helmet on first. Helmet is on. Hopefully you guys can hear me a little bit clearer now because it's much closer to me. It is currently 54 degrees, which means perfect time to take a ride. What I wanted to talk about before I actually start riding, because again, once I start riding, you're not going to hear anything I say. I was having some issues with this, and I thought it was me. And then I kind of looked up some of the tips for new riders, and I found a video where they talked about calibrating the wheel, and I wasn't sure what that was. Long story short, you can have some issues where the wheel's not calibrated right, and when you go to try to turn one way, the pedals go up, and if you try to turn the other way, the pedals go down, and that causes instability issues. And that was kind of what I felt was happening, and I thought it was just me, that I need to, get more used to the machine. I went into the settings on the app, saw the part where it says calibrate. I did it, and as soon as I came down to the park, I could see a difference, a huge difference. So that might be the issue. It may not be as big of an issue as I thought, or as I'm thinking, but I won't know until I start riding today. So we'll see. Currently, the helmet is new. Well, it's not new, but it's a new setup for me with this wheel. If you've ever ridden a motorcycle, you know that depending on the helmet you have, it's gonna add extra weight. It's also going to minimize your ability to see in all directions. Meaning, you want to see left and right, you're gonna have to turn your head a lot more than if you didn't have the helmet on in the first place. But I don't want to take any chances because this is the first time I'm going to be going on major roads, and I'm going to go a bit more further than I'm used to. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to head out, take the main road. Hopefully it stays quiet, and we're going to see how far we can get, because I don't actually remember how bad those roads are. Once it gets to gravel, I'm done. I'm not going any further, and then I'll just come back. So we'll see how this works. Here we go. Now, although it is 50 degrees, it's still very windy. So I do have to contend with that. But alright, enough talking. Let's just get moving. Okay, here goes nothing. Oh yeah, I could already feel the difference of just stepping on the wheel. So it's a lot more stable stepping on the wheel. I was having major issues, like it was really unbalanced. And I thought that was just a thing that I had to get used to. But it feels so much smoother now. And a bit more responsive with the turning. So yeah, that seems to have been at least most of the issue. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm struggling to turn. So that seems to be the issue. And again, I don't know why I'm talking, because you're probably not really able to hear me too well. Assuming it's not, if it's really windy, you're not going to hear me. But all right, hopefully I'll remember to mention that when I get back. But here we go.
How fast is that going?
About 30.
30.
Yep. That was weird. All right, so let's see if there's a place I could sit. I don't think there is. Let's come up in here. So this is the main parking area. Oh, there are benches. I'm gonna go sit at a bench because my feet are hurting already. Now, as I was saying, this is the closest and also the main parking area for the Middletown Reservoir Trails. Now, this parking area is sort of paved, but still has a lot of loose gravel. So I'm not gonna try riding around in here. The actual trail itself that's pretty much off-road. That's gonna be a while before I'm comfortable enough to actually ride there. Whew. Let me sit down for a bit. Okay. Now let's see if I can get this to not fall over. All right, not bad. So I guess once you get used to the kickstand and just the thing in general, it's not terrible when it comes to putting it down. Sometimes if it's not a level space, you're just not going to be able to really put it down without it falling over. Now, I'm going to test something here. Let's see. All right, so this is pretty much the setup here, as you can see. So it took me about, I think, 15 minutes to get here. At least that's how long it's been recording. I can't remember exactly when I left. But according to the map, it was almost 3 miles to get here from the park. So I already did 3 miles. My feet were doing okay. The bike is doing better after I did the calibration on it. The wind is still a pain in the ass, and it does seem to kind of help start a wobble if I'm not paying attention. But yeah, this is the area that at some point, maybe not this one, because this one's a little bit, the off-road part here is a little more than I know I can handle. But there are other areas of this trail where they're actually paved. So the little area that goes around the main lake, I believe that's mostly paved. It's been a while. It could also be loose gravel, I'm not sure. But that would probably be where I start first. And I don't think I'm going to do that until spring. I want to make sure I'm really good at this first. Let's see if I could put this back on the mount on my helmet without either breaking it or... There it is. Not bad. But alright, let's make sure everything is still working. Everything's still recording. Kind of wish I could find a different way to go back. I don't want to go back to that little construction area, I'll be honest with you. The hell was that sound? That was an odd sound. But this is the main reason I actually got this machine, is so that I can actually do rides around these areas. Especially in the summertime, you know, when it's much warmer, and also later on in the night when there's pretty much nobody outside. That's when I would really like to come around these areas riding. I do have to have additional ways of being visible, so I'll probably get something for the helmet where it's an extra light in the back, like a brake light. I'll look into that. I have additional headlights from the bicycle that I have that I'm going to try and figure out a way to mount one directly to the wheel, and the other one would be to my helmet. That way I have plenty of light in front of me so I can see everything, as well as an additional light on top of my helmet so that when I turn my head I can actually see you know, what's in that area. And I think that should be good. Maybe a high-vis vest to put over my black jacket, you know, because I don't want to get like sideswiped on one of these roads, get chucked into a gutter, and they don't find me for like a few days. So that would be my main concern. But these roads are very quiet, especially at night. And it's just something that I would like to kind of start doing. I will say this as well. Riding this right now, especially with my motorcycle helmet, has just reminded me how much I enjoyed riding motorcycles. Unfortunately, I have two motorcycles that both of them are unfortunately not working. I'm not very good with maintaining my motorcycles, if I'm being honest. I have a big cruising bike. I kind of pushed it a little too hard, didn't maintain it, and I think I blew a gasket in the engine, so that is just waiting to be fixed when I have the time and the money. And then I have a little Chinese like dual sport bike that I got from, I actually got it in the mail. It actually got delivered to me. I had to put it together. Maybe I'll do some videos on that if I can get that fixed. I think I did the same thing. I pushed it too hard. It's not meant for highway speeds, and I kept taking it on the highway. And I think I also blew a gasket in the engine. So if I can get those fixed, those would be some videos that I can make. Now, it's a little tricky because I can't really see behind me, and that kind of scares me. With all the wind noise, I can't really hear if there's a car behind me either. The hills, I will say this thing does pretty decent on hills. But alright, let's see if we can get started again. Very quiet. You can still hear wind in the distance, like in the trees. But this is what I really like to do. Alright, let's head back. Hopefully I don't fall, because this pavement is uneven and it's kind of a hill. Alright, let's head back. Nope, that's a problem. That is definitely a problem. So you don't want to try and start on this wheel when you are on an incline, or on where it's like, you know, uneven like this, because if you're not good at it, you're gonna start to lean very quickly. All right, there we go. Okay, this side is a little more even. motorcycles. All right, that was sketch. That was a little scary. I think I need to adjust the angle of the wheel because now I think it's leaning too forward and it's making it a little harder for me to stop. And I'd much rather have better stopping than acceleration. So I'm gonna have to take a look at that when I get home. Uneven. I don't like that. Let's try not to get hit by a car. Oh, that wasn't so bad. No way. Bullshit. There must be a car behind me. There isn't. So according to that, I was going 28 miles an hour. Did not feel like that at all. It felt like I was going 15. Unfortunately, I can't see behind me, so no, that was a little scary. That was mostly a blind turn because I can't really see behind me. That was actually a very good ride. And what I've learned is that if you don't calibrate this wheel, it becomes a bit of a pain in the ass to just balance yourself on it. It's much smoother now. I'm probably gonna try and go for another ride. I'm very low on battery. I'm gonna just record what I got, and then, you know, if I can throw a video out there with it, I'll do that. Otherwise, this is just where I'm gonna end it. So yeah, something they don't tell you about these things is you probably have to calibrate it even after you take it out the box. Aside from that, it's a learning process, and I'm getting better and better. And I'd like to hopefully make another video where I'm actually going probably like 10, 15, 20 miles whatever the max is on this, honestly, as a round trip, obviously, because I don't want to go somewhere then have the battery die and I can't do anything to come back. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more, leave a comment, subscribe, and with any luck, I'll see you in the next video. And until then, take care.